Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to host you on the VOPA Leadership Bootcamp of IOC. It's wonderful that we have such a diverse and creative group joining us. And it's my great privilege to be speaking to you about the strategic role of VOPAs from the point of view of the regional VOPAs. My name is Weronika Felcis. I am IOC Secretary. But for many years, I have been first the Polish Evaluation Association President and then European Evaluation Society board member. And that is why I just wanted to share with you 5 points about the strengths of the national VOPAs and 5 points about the challenges I have noticed throughout the years. So starting with the strategic role, I think it's very important that we have VOPAs engaged in a very critical situations on the national level. For example, in the situation of raising authoritarian regimes or of different sort of crises like social, economic, military, ecological crises. And we've seen that all around the planet, that many of the VOPAs are really helping to solve some issues or bring the evidence about what the government is doing. Another thing is that national VOPAs have a tremendous influence. And of course, when we also enable them in the best possible way, and we have a lot of material on the global level already and the regional level to learn how VOPAs can be influencing national and local policies. And no one else can do that as well. They also have most influence on evaluation systems with the guidelines, ethics, standards. This sort of developments of the evaluation systems, they can gather into some kind of meta-analysis and saying how we should be behaving. Another point about the strategic role is really that they can understand the strong points and pathologies of the evaluation market within the country. So they can develop different mechanisms of how to respond to them. And that is very important because there has to be usually on the national system someone who can control that, someone who can understand it better. And finally, they can bring the best tailored, needs-based, market-accurate, and demand-side appropriated trainings, courses, and studies for the supply side. But also they can bring the meetings of the seminars or the different conferences to bring the demand side and supply side together to discuss different problems and to find the common solutions. That is why the VOPAs are really the pumping heart of all regional and global networks. And that is why we just wanted also to bring you together, to work together, to learn from each other and help us learn from you. And finally, just a few challenges that I think are very important. The first one would be that there is a need for every VOPA to have a visionary, integrating leadership that respects diversity and welcomes all skills in voluntary engagement. And I'm sure all of you know that so very well, that we need to have leaders in the VOPAs who are welcoming everyone, who know how to manage the work and how to divide the work so that they don't do majority and the rest of the group doesn't know what's happening, but they really work as one organism and still being open to others who could join. Secondly, it needs to be appreciated and respected by the public administration and in general by the demand side. And it is such a big pain and challenge so many times for the VOPAs that they don't have it. They don't feel that they are serious partners to those who often have the money and they sharing the money for the evaluation. And that is something what we are trying also to strengthen in all of the VOPAs, to kind of know that they are part of something much bigger and they're so very important. And on the global level, to really find also international partners who are saying VOPAs are really, really important on a national level. Finally, to have some mechanisms of reacting to pathologies of the supply side. As I said, many times there are people who are either still learning or too ambitious to admit that they made some mistakes, or just ill-intentioned and really just spoiling the market. And for that, developers need to have strong partnerships with the demand side and to know how to react and to say, hey, we see what you're doing. We don't want this sort of things to be happening in the evaluation market in our country. We need to work it out. What can be the solutions to help you stop doing it or make you stop doing it? And just two more is that within the organizations, many times we just simply need people with strong skills in communication, both internal, so that our members see the value in responding to the financial needs of the developer and knowing how they can get engaged and sharing their skills in the voluntary engagement. But at the same time, people who have skills in external communication and can help with the public relations of the developer itself. And that's very, very important that we can also, in an informed, interesting, new, innovative ways, see how we developing, how we are learning, what we are doing new on the organizational level, but also engage and attract other people to that. And the last point is really to feel that every national developer is well networked with other developers in the region and also in the global evaluation environment, so that they can feel that they're part of much bigger movement, of much bigger network, that they have that backup of many developers that are working together. And in general, to feel that they're not left alone. So we very much hope that this bootcamp will give you this sort of feeling, and that we will work on developing ways on how to strengthen that strategic role of developers and how to approach the challenges together. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful bootcamp and see you soon.